Greetings, webheads, and welcome to episode 3 of Witty Banter, yet another Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm Patrick.
Alex.
David.
John Paul.
We are here to help you get better at and have more fun with your Crisis Protocol. So, I think we talked about it before, and we mentioned that we record these on Friday nights after our gaming nights. So, I couldn't make gaming night tonight, so as the Hamilton song asks, what did I miss?
You missed 10 people there.
Yeah, we
had a good turnout this week.
Brian and Jason came in.
Yeah, Vato Bob or whatever his name is. Bob.
Yep, he was one of Brian's buddies from the War Machine days. He was out in Arizona for a while, and he moved back to Omaha.
Nice. So we got a good turnout.
Yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
good turnout, yeah.
Yep, fantastic.
You had to set up 5 tables?
I know. I had to set up 5 tables. That's pretty rare.
That is the definition of a good problem.
Yes.
Okay, so before we get started, we have a little business to take care of. We have some Patreons to thank. At patreon.com/wittybantercast, you can support us, and we have 5 Patreons. We've actually had 4 Patreons since after the first episode, but because I am an utter noob, I didn't even see the notifications until after we recorded episode 2. So I want to apologize and shout out M. Kelly and Carl for being Patreons at the Itsy Bitsy Spider level, and Travis for being a Spider friend. Also, after episode 2, I want to shout out Joe for being a level 1 Patreon. That's even more impressive because he's 1, my brother, and 2, doesn't play Crisis Protocol. So that's a pretty good that's a pretty good sacrifice. So thank you to all of you. If you are a Patreon at either the $1 or $5 level, you get a number of different benefits. One of those include you get extra entries in our giveaway. So we are going to have our first giveaway. What are we giving away?
First giveaway is going to be an X-Men box.
Of your choice.
Yep, of your choice.
So we've got 3 different boxes: Bishop Nightcrawler, Shadowcat Iceman, and then Professor X Shadow King. So whoever wins this thing gets to pick which of the 3 they want, yeah?
Yep.
All right. So,
Did you say we had 5 Patreons? Or do we have 4?
I think we have, did I say 5?
You said 5.
I said
I didn't
5.
want you to miss one. You know.
Hey,
All right.
math has never been my strong suit. So we have 4. Maybe it's just that we're so confident that we're going to get a 5th that's already here.
5th one.
Or it could be that I wrote a 5 down to remind myself that Travis was on the 2nd level, and my brain doesn't.
He counts
like
as 2.
Sure, let's go for that. Speaking of counting for 2, how do you enter the giveaway? First of all, you enter it by being a Patreon. Alex, how does that work?
At the Itsy Bitsy Spider level, it's 1 entry. And if you're a Spider friend, it's 2 entries.
So you get automatically just by being a Patreon, you get an entry in the giveaway. But are there any other ways to enter the giveaway, David? He asks in a way that suggests that there are.
Yeah, I assume if you leave a review on our Patreon or on our episodes, I guess.
Yep.
You get another entry.
Yep. So if anyone who leaves us a review, and it doesn't matter, we want you to be honest in terms of the review. So leave us a review, rate us, and then send us a screenshot of the review at anywhere that you can contact us. All the socials at Witty Bantercast or wittybantercast@gmail.com. Once you send that entry, once you send that review, you get an entry. And if you want to leave us a 5-star review, obviously, we think that would be awesome. But if you want to leave a 1-star review because you think that that's what it is, that's fine. We're not here to buy your praise. We're just here to buy your engagement. That's the important part.
I'll still judge you.
Oh, he will judge you. You don't want to mess with that. So
Send that screenshot of that 1-star review.
he's coming for you. So we've got, you can enter by being a Patreon, and you can enter by leaving a review. JP, do those stack?
They do. You can get 3 entries.
Look out. So if you are a Spider friend and you leave us a review and you send us a note of that, you get 3 entries into this thing. We will be drawing the winner on the air in episode 5. So since we do it every other week, that's about a month away. So you've got plenty of time to get your stuff together, get on the Patreon, get us a review, get yourself set up for some sweet X-Men boxes.
They are pretty good too, actually.
I think they are. I mean, I don't know why anybody wouldn't get Bishop and Nightcrawler, but that's just me.
That's the box to get.
I think it's the box to get. One of the other benefits, if you are a Patreon, is you get priority answering of any questions that get sent in. And one of our Patreons, M. Kelly, did send us a question. Basically, he asked, what are the next models that you would like to see in the game? So we've got some stuff that are in. We've got a few things that are coming, like Sable and Shang-Chi and Dracula. So other than the stuff that's been announced, what else do you guys want to see? What's top on your wish list?
Top on my wish list is Spider-Man 2099 and Iron Spider. Those two. I mean, one, so 2099 is great, just comic-wise. I love his story, and he's got so many different things that you can do with him that doesn't make him just a copy-paste of all the other Web Warriors. One example, he doesn't have spider senses, but he's a time traveler. Do something with that. And then Iron Spider, that finally gives us our Peter Parker as an Avenger. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
good
like to see.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like White Tiger. I think White Tiger would be pretty cool. And
Especially
definitely Jessica Jones. The Defenders need a new leader. I mean, I guess they got Daredevil, but
Yeah, Daredevil's like the default leader at this point.
yeah, he's like
Pretty
Green
much.
Lantern. It's fine.
Well, and it would, I mean, they've already teased that White Tiger, they're going to have White Tiger in Born Again, so that would make some sense.
Yeah, White Tiger would be pretty cool.
Although, if we get a Jessica Jones and she's not in a box with the Purple Man, I'm going to be disappointed.
I could see her being in the box with what's her name too. What is her name? The chick who has like she gets powers. I forgot which of her powers are, but she's like friends with Jessica Jones.
No idea.
No, you lost me on that one.
I'm sure it's somewhere out there.
We'll get it in the comments.
Yeah.
Here's your opportunity for a review.
I would say Doom, but that's just whatever.
It feels like low-hanging fruit.
Doom and Doombots,
But,
right?
I mean, we need Doom. Come on.
You
do.
It's been 4 freaking years. Let's go.
We need Doom, yeah.
And the Fantastic Four.
Coming up on 5
And
years.
I don't care about. They can invisible woman can stay invisible. I'm fine. If I'm not picking
An
one
actual
hanging fruit,
torch would be pretty cool, though.
we already have one. I don't know.
Terrible, though.
He is. I would say. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I'm not sure exactly how you differentiate original Human Torch from Johnny Storm Human Torch on the table, because they're both just dudes on fire.
Yeah. 2 flaming dudes, and you can run both of them.
That's
You
true.
could. Yeah, I guess you could.
That's a lot of torch on the table.
It's a lot of flamers. I would say Apocalypse, because I like derpy big dudes. Let's go.
Yes, you do.
The Four Horsemen would be pretty cool.
Let's go.
Someone
I want him to be an
that,
8th threat.
like Archangel and like.
I want him to be the next guy who gets nerfed, because everyone hates him so bad.
Apocalypse does kind of feel like
I'll play him every week.
you will. Apocalypse. It's just Apocalypse and Hulk all day.
all day, every day.
Mine is super niche and probably shows my age. I want Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight would be cool.
We have Weapon X. I mean, it just seems like it's the next logical thing. But I want a Guardian. I want a Vindicator. I want the Canadian Avengers on the table. But that's just me.
I don't know.
Who else? Who else do we forget? I mean, I get it. I'm not holding my breath for that.
A 2-threat Jubilee.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yeah, Jubilee would be great.
100%. Anything that would make the Sentinels better.
Yeah, anything that'll make the Nomad? Is it
Nimrod.
Nimrod.
Nimrod would be pretty cool.
Nimrod would be like a 14 threat.
Was it Master Mold?
Yeah, Master Mold.
The really big one.
That just makes more.
that like shits little ones.
Speed 0.
I want Galactus, Fin Fang Foom.
Galactus.
I want all the big guys.
Yeah.
I want a 10 threat.
Who would even be there?
At 10 threat?
Yeah.
Probably Galactus, right?
Yeah.
Galactus, maybe
We need Silver Surfer.
We do need
Adam
some.
No.
Warlock, maybe.
Adam Warlock. Let's go.
Adam Warlock.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. Especially Infinity Gauntlet Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say he could be the next guy,
Or
that
at
could
least
use
be
all
able
of
to
them.
wield the stones.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Actually-
we need another gem bearer to
Actually,
show up.
That would be kind of cool. To add in another Jim Bear.
Who was it? Was it Black Swan that was the last one? Black Swan Super
Black
Giant?
Swan Super Giant. Yeah.
I think that's right.
Like,
Oh, let me test my memory here. When did they come out? They came out.
Was
it 2022?
May.
No. I think it was last year. I'm pretty sure.
No,
It
they
was-
were June of 2023 because you played them in Show Me Showdown
I did.
2023.
That's right.
No, 2022. It was 2022.
Has it been that long?
Thank
Yes,
you.
it was 2022.
Because you won 2023 show. You went show me last year.
Yeah, and
And
you
then I
won
won
the year
Show Me
before
the
in
year before.
2022.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it was
And yeah,
June
because I had
2022.
the slick super giant. Like, I'm gonna sacrifice a super giant, and then she's gonna take 1 damage and bump, and you're like, oh.
Well,
That's
and
good.
the other thing adding Adam Warlock in is you'd be able to put him in Guardians, and Guardians needs some more models, right?
I mean, they lost Cosmic Ghost Rider. We have a void to fill.
Yeah.
Give us Adam Warlock.
They already have.
I mean, he
10
has to be
models.
at least a 6th. Right?
I was trying to drip with sarcasm.
I
But
was about to say, it's like, I don't know that we lost him per se. It's just not making like everybody complain about him, but yeah, I would kind of like to see him come in and be a Guardian just to watch people's brains explode about the Guardians getting something good again.
Something better. Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
He becomes Guardian's second leader.
Oh,
That would be cool. I would rather see Nova be their second leader first.
Yeah, Nova would be somebody.
we need
to-
Nova too.
Yeah, Nova.
We need more Guardians. That's all. That's what I say.
if we're gonna go another Guardian leader, I want to go MCU and have a 3-threat rocket.
I wouldn't mind seeing. So now that they've already released one kitty, the kitty version of Star Lord
Yeah,
that takes over for Star Lord.
it wouldn't surprise me if that happens eventually.
But Nova's got to come before that happens, right? You got to have Nova.
You would
Yeah, I
think.
think you need Nova. I think you need Nova.
And I mean, if anything, is true about the tactics cards, Nova's already on a tactics card,
Yeah,
so
Nova's on a
he's
tactics card.
bound to be there.
I mean, I don't know what leader is going to usurp Star-Lord, but I mean,
Yeah.
his leadership's so stupid, and he's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a game with options is better than no options.
I mean, I'm not complaining about it if it comes, but I don't think they're in dire need of a new leader. Like,
no.
three threat leaders are just dumb, and when they're
3-threat leader
Really
that
good.
hands out rerolls.
when they're really good, they're like extra dumb. He's not quite dumb enough to be splashed like Sam and Miles, but
yeah.
he's super dumb in Guardians. You don't feel taxed at all taking that leader.
No.
That's like part of the meat and potatoes of the faction itself.
And he's one of the few
Those
leaders
idiots.
that's a 3-threat with 6/6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6'6".
6 health, 6 health.
He's not. He's 6'5".
I think it was
6'5",
6/6. Okay. Still 6'5". That's
It's still good.
pretty
6'5"
good.
With
There's
and
very
Plucky.
few-
Plucky, people underestimate Plucky.
I know.
Plucky's,
It's not as good as Spider Sense, but it's
Plucky's fine.
not nothing.
Yeah.
And it stacks with winging it.
Yep.
You're in dire need of survival.
So anybody else that we're obviously missing from the game that we want to see coming in?
I've got a theme apparently, but Black Suit Spidey. Another
Yeah,
Parker.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we need
He'd be cool.
another. I mean, we got Gwenum coming.
Yeah.
I was shocked that was happening before Symbiote Parker.
Yeah, Symbiote Parker.
Or Black Suit Spider-Woman? That would be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the movie was terrible, but the character is still good.
They just have to have Venom Blast on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Just to even the affiliation out a little bit.
Just to add more.
We have to be able to put 10 spiders on the board
that
at
all
once
can steal.
that can over half of them can move long. Over half of them have Venom Blast. At least 3 or 4 with Webline.
That sounds like so much fun to play against. Let's do that.
They'd be contenders then.
Yeah.
All right. So if you have somebody that we missed, webheads, let us know.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably lots.
I'm sure there's lots.
Morph.
Morph.
No.
Morph. We already said Jubilee.
Yeah.
You could do an entire core set and just have them all be the Shi'ar Imperial Guard because there's like 40 of them. Okay, so webheads, let us know if we missed anything or who you'd like to see. We are now gonna try to introduce something that was actually suggested to us by some of our friendly local gaming group companions. Segment we're gonna call "Who's Your Sabertooth?" So, JP, do you want to kind of talk about what this segment means?
Sure. This is named after Patrick Sabertooth, who is, well, I haven't played him recently, but he was the bane of my existence for a good, like 2 or 3 week run, I want to say.
It was like either 2 or 3 weeks in a row where Sabertooth messed you up.
Yeah, we're talking OG Sabertooth. The one that nobody likes. Well, most people don't like.
Yeah, most people don't like. Which I think he's actually fine.
I mean, he's fine when he won't die.
Yeah, and just like...
when he gets in your backline and just solos 3 people and like...
His spender is pretty good.
And I think we need to put a little context on this. Crisis Protocol is the first miniatures game that I've played, and JP's the LVO runner-up. So this is very much an Alabama-Tennessee Tech kind of thing. So having a winning streak against JP with having something to do that is pretty extraordinary. So it's kind of been a running theme ever since then. And I think every time I've played with you that I haven't had Sabertooth, I've gotten curb stomped.
You're not wrong. It is a running joke. And I do cringe a little bit when you threaten to take Sabertooth because I still have emotional damage from that shit.
I would say I'm sorry, but I mean,
it is what it is.
So
I'll take my lumps.
So the conceit is, we know who JP's Sabertooth is. It's Sabertooth. Everybody's got a Sabertooth. Everybody's got a model that, for no explicable reason, you see your opponent putting down and you just go, oh, crap. So, who's your Sabertooth? I can tell you who my Sabertooth is. My Sabertooth is Grunts. Particularly Shield Grunts. Particularly David's Shield's Grunts.
Let me back up. My runner-up is any model that David puts on the board.
That is fair. But it's the Grunts in particular. I have
that one reroll, man. They just get it.
I just
You're
have,
like 4.
I can never forget having OG Ghost Rider roll up on the Grunts and pillow fist 2 attacks, and then have them turn around and just melt him off the board. I mean, that's just seared into my brain. So my Sabertooth are Shield Grunts. How about you guys?
My Sabertooth is definitely Dynamo. That dude, I can't kill him, and he's like, I'm gonna beam your whole team, and here, take 6 damage, take 5 damage. Oh, you're shocked. Like, ugh,
it's impossible to stop that man.
Yeah,
Dynamo's
with the place, he
Dynamo's,
does what he wants.
Dynamo's so good, but yeah, I had a game at, was it Bug Eater? Maybe it was Bug Eater. It was a game I played DeLuca, and I was like, oh, I got freaking Voodoo, and I got fallback, so I'll just walk out into the middle, and if he does a bunch of damage to me, I'll just fall back, and then he just pulls up with Dynamo, one-shots Voodoo.
What were you playing at? Do you remember the team you were playing? Were you playing?
I was playing Convo. Yeah, I was playing Convo.
Did you play Convo at Bug Eater?
He did.
Yeah.
Okay, it probably was Bug Eater then.
Maybe.
2023.
Yes.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because you didn't play DeLuca in 2022 Bug Eater. I know you didn't.
No.
You just straight up just one-shot Voodoo. 6 damage from a 5 dice attack. Yeah.
That'll throw your plans off in a hurry.
It was pretty ridiculous.
Right side, you kept fallback.
Oh, no, I know where it was. It was at LVO. That's where that happened, because he was playing Guardians.
Oh, LVO 2023?
Yeah, he was playing Guardians.
That makes sense.
Because, yeah, he just walked up and just bloop. And then there goes my voodoo. You got 4 defense dice and 6 health. Can't survive. And if I would have survived on 1, I would have just fell back, and then he wouldn't have been able to shoot me again.
Yeah, this sounds like a familiar story, except you're doing the shooting and my model's dying. So I can't feel a lot of sympathy.
It's definitely done.
You've got empathy, I guess.
I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man,
I'm on Team David, unless I'm playing him.
Man, we're only
Then
3.
he can go screw himself.
We're only 3 episodes in, and it's already getting salty. Who's your Sabertooth, Alex?
My Sabertooth, without a doubt, is Killmonger. Oh, original Killmonger, not this sad excuse of a usurper. OG Killmonger, I always gave him shit when he first came out. I didn't think he was that great of a model. And the first time I put him on the table, backed me up 100%. He was garbage. Second time I put him on the table, I wanted to throw him against the wall. And I haven't played him since. But every time he's played against me, I swear, this man, Killmonger, will roll 14 hits on 3 dice every time. He will usurp turn 1 every time.
He's a monger of kills.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And he has a Panther statue that follows him around on the board. It's amazing.
Maybe that's why mine doesn't do so well. I did not put him on the Panther statue.
Yeah, mine's not on the Panther statue either. I think I took a Warhammer skull, and he's standing on a Warhammer skull.
Mistakes were made.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah.
Need Panther.
So that's our Sabertooths. I think that's the proper plural. How about you? So webheads, Saberteeth? I think it might be Saberteeth. That's actually probably right. So webheads, we want to hear who's your Sabertooth. Is it Sabertooth? Is it somebody else? Let us know. Socials, email, we'd love to hear it. So now we're going to move into our main headline topic. We're obviously trying to grow a podcast, and so I hit up ChatGPT and asked, what's the best podcast topic to get engagement, to get clicks? And the first thing it said was talk about Taylor Swift, which, I mean, we probably all have thoughts on, but it's not really our jam.
She's right.
I do have bad luck.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
I got more about that than I was expecting to start with.
I just got a blank space.
There we go. Well, I'm going to shake that off. And because the next thing it listed was rank stuff. And ranking stuff we can do. So there have been, very recently, 6 mutants that have been released and spoiled. Bishop, Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, Iceman, Professor X, and Shadow King. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of talk through. We've each had a chance to kind of think for ourselves in terms of where we'd rank them 6 to 1. But we're just going to have a conversation, and we're going to see what the group thinks about where they should rank. And we're just going to do it live. You're going to get a chance to see it. You'll get a chance to watch the sausage being made, which is a little weird for a podcast because it's an audio medium, but you get what I mean. So,
I mean, you don't really want to watch 4 guys handle sausage, but
that's fair.
At least it's a podcast. You just have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't kink sham around here. So
all the squidgies.
So, let's go 6 to 1 to build up some tension. So, who's the worst of those 6 models, and why is it Shadow King?
Well, that's all you need to know. Shadow King. That's why.
It's an action to places thing. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, although if it wasn't in action, he could do some pretty.
Oh, he'd be great.
He'd be worth it.
Like that seems like an integral part of his kit.
Yeah.
And you have to sacrifice half his actions to do it, which is not a good trade-off.
No, it's not a good trade-off, especially since his superpowers don't even. The only one that uses to measure is his visions, right? It's not like he has. It's not like, I mean, he doesn't measure range to heal himself, so like it's attacks and that one particular superpower.
And if you don't use that superpower to kill one of your actions, is he good?
Yeah, he's not. I mean, his builder is pretty.
His builder's amazing.
His builder's amazing.
I mean, like that was the first thing I read on that card, and I'm like, okay, now we're cooking with gas. And then
yeah,
the
it
furnace
just gets
went out.
worse. Yeah, it just gets worse. Well, and I don't understand why his Nightmare Visions is 3 dice with crit wild. Like, that's just so.
Well,
It's a big radius if you, within 3.
I don't understand why it costs so much.
That the 4 powers.
4 powers is really weird because all the other
Ugh.
models that have powers like that, it's 3 power, right?
So
Nova's is 2.
Nova's 2, even better. Thank you.
Nova's is 2.
Nova's is 2. Mysterio's is 3,
3.
but he can get a power back rolling blanks.
Yes.
Right?
Mm.
So you're probably getting a power back.
Rockets is
Is
3.
Rockets, and he's a 2 threat.
And he's a 2 threat, right?
Yeah.
So
And they're still all more dice too.
Yes.
They're all 4 dice.
I mean, it should be said that Shadow Kings moves him.
Or moves the enemies.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had it backwards.
You
Yeah,
get to
moves the enemies, not him. So I think that's just probably better. Generally,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of times when you want to stay where you're at,
But you want to move your opponent's models. So, I mean, I don't think
But-
it's.
you're kind of forced to get out of range when you trigger it because they're going to attack you again or whatever.
So in Shadow King's defense, so his Astral Fiend, it only goes away if he gets damaged by a mystic attack, right?
That goes away
And-
at the end of the turn.
Yeah. Cleanup phase.
Oh, you're right.
Yep.
Yep.
So
And unlike Astral Ring, it doesn't score.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
I got nothing. I got nothing for this guy then.
Yeah.
Well, and
Oh,
I
and you
I
can
hate
attack
that.
through
Yeah,
it,
you
too.
can attack through it.
Yeah, that's.
It's just there's no. There's
I
one
mean,
good thing, and that's his
competition's gonna
builder.
eat this guy up, right? Like,
Yeah.
see?
Well, plus it costs 3.
And like the whole thing was like Shadow King Xavier. You know, Shadow King was Xavier's bad guy. It was the X-Men's bad guy, and Xavier just looks at this dude on the table and laughs.
Yeah.
And okay,
Patrick, it costs 3, but did you know that he gets an extra power in the power phase?
No.
Well, he's a 5 threat and he gets an extra power.
A singular extra power.
Quick,
When there are 2, at least, no, are there? There's 3 5 threats that generate 3 power.
quick, somebody make a Taylor Swift pun. So, yeah. I think what for me is the most frustrating about Shadow King is in the comics and even in the animated series, he's freaking terrifying. I mean, when Shadow King comes up, it's like the end of the world kind of stuff. So I would want, when I saw that Shadow King was coming out, and he's got a cool model. I mean, the model I really like. So I was really excited for him, and I was really excited to see what it was going to look like. And now, if Shadow King comes out on the table, it's not, it's more, let's go.
yeah. I'm glad you spent 5 threat for that model.
5 threat. Yeah.
The model's great, though.
Yeah,
I do like the model.
he'll be a fun
The
painting
sculpt
project.
The sculpt is great.
I do like the model.
But he's going at the bottom
All
of
right.
the queue because he is not hitting the table.
So Shadow King's an easy 6. Who's next? Who do we think is number 5?
I hate myself for saying this just because I love the character so much. I think it's got to be Iceman.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
I
does
love
have
the
to be
character.
X-Men,
I like just everything about him, the comics, and just everything that they could have done with this model to, to quote the tactics card and the comics, the untapped potential that they had with this model. And I just am so sad about him.
So is there any one specific thing that we think doesn't work with Iceman? Or is it just that the things don't work together? Or
Well, one, he's fragile, right?
He's squishy.
Yeah, so like in all of his attacks, he wants to play in the range 3 plus the rest of his kit with the slowing. that's within 2, so you want him to be close to enemy models, but at the same time he doesn't survive if he's close to enemy models. So it's like, what is he doing?
I wish they just gave him DR to minimum of 1. I think that would fix him so much. His big gainer, it's a gainer, so I mean that kind of stinks, but it's a beam.
It's a beam, yeah.
But it's 4 dice, so it's
fine. It does
it's fine. If it were 5 dice, I would be a lot happier with that.
It would be. Would it be? It'd be all right. I mean,
his cold snap's really good. David, when you and I played him, that was the thing that kind of turned the game around.
I mean, his cold snap is good unless your opponent can play around it.
Right.
If they can play around it, then it kind of doesn't.
Right. So if you're playing a team that's got to come in close.
Well, the other thing too is because of when it triggers, right? If anybody has any after activation or after attack pushes or throws, they just throw them out of range too, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you guys. I had him at rank 5. But,
yeah.
I mean,
he's not awful. He's playable. I think he's playable.
You got to take this with a grain of salt because these characters aren't out yet. Nobody really. I mean, Alex has been proxying a little bit, but none of us have put these guys on the table. Really.
I've proxied Iceman in webs.
Sure.
So,
but like nobody's used Shadow King.
Yeah, no, it's used Shadow King.
I think everyone else has gotten some use, right?
Yeah, I've played all of them today.
Yeah. So like Iceman, I don't know. He's just weird. His kid's weird. I guess you could like hop off a storm or use Storm's hop to hop him into like a beam, and then hit and run a second beam.
He's definitely got potential.
And then use like Ice Slide to get your person you hopped off of back also.
Yeah,
and like slow everybody. You can kind of play maybe a little keep away with it. I don't know. I'll have to see it on the table. I think
he's probably a medium base, and his slide is medium move.
Yes. No, his slide is His slide is airlift.
Oh, I'm thinking of
his freeze and fade is just a move action.
Yeah.
Move action.
I mean, I think there's like some cheeky stuff you could do with him. I just don't know.
And stagger, not for nothing, stagger's good, right? Like having it on a 3 threat.
A 3 power, 7 dice, range 3, energy attack that wild staggers on a 3 threat.
It's pretty good.
Is very respectable in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I think if he had DR, I think that would just kind of set him at a very good, perfect point.
Yeah, 5 health is pretty squishy.
Lizard's got it.
DR is pretty freaking. It's one of the more busted.
Lizard's got it. OG Iron Man's got it.
There are definitely a lot of
Cage has got it.
Yeah,
there's plenty of 3 threats that have it. There's no reason why he shouldn't have it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into that conversation. That's a hell of a superpower to put somebody on or put on somebody.
Well, it just seems like a weird decision not to give him that, and also to make him 5 health on both sides.
Right.
Yeah, 5 health does.
Lizard's 6'5" with healing factor and has it.
Yeah.
4/3/3, just like Iceman. Tony's 4/3/3, and he's a 5/5.
Right.
He's 5/5.
There's
War Machine is too.
Yeah, same with War Machine, and it seems weird that they didn't give it to Iceman when it would make sense on him. At least I feel as though it would make sense on him, but that's just me.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it with Shadow King, and maybe it's because there's nobody. But for either Shadow King or Iceman, are there any places to splash them that might make them more valuable? I mean, I know David, you played Iceman and Webs.
I did, and it was good. I mean, you could definitely use the slows to like annoy your opponent and basically like slow people and then move away and force them to try to chase you around, which is what Webs want to do, right? Like that's their game plan. I don't know if he's worth taking an unaffiliated spot, especially with I mean, Webs have so many good affiliated 3s. It's real hard to like.
Well, the opportunity cost of taking him is not taking a 3-threat web, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and they have the best 3s in the game.
Yeah, all their 3s are good. I mean, Cat's good.
Spectacular's good.
Miles is good. Spectacular's good. Gwen is good. Like, so it's just hard. It's hard to.
I guess if you're stacking just 3s for days, maybe he has a spot. I don't know. like I said, I haven't put any of these things on the table. This is pure speculation. I don't know. I'm not too high on Iceman, but I could see someone. I could see like some tricksy stuff that people could do. He seems definitely more of a creative piece. If you can put yourself in some situations where he could actually be really good. He's not very straightforward.
I don't mind Shadow King and Convocation, but
Of course you don't.
But
Well, what does Convocation give Shadow King?
well, one, he's on a medium base, right? So that bump is good for him.
Right.
Books makes him what 5-3-5 or 5-4?
5-4-5.
5-4-5.
For people who don't know, any new model that comes out that's 4 or more Mystic, David says they'd probably be pretty good in Convocation.
Well, they usually
It's
have
not a running-
Mystic
it's a
attacks,
running joke.
right?
It's a running joke.
And
Yeah.
if it's not good in Convocation, there's a 50-50 chance Shield takes that
And
spot.
yes,
too.
Yeah.
that's the other joke.
Shadow King would be terrible in Shield, though. He'd be so bad at Shield. So, yeah, I think Convocation seems like a fine spot for him. It's just hard because there's
Look,
so many better 5s you want to take
That's just it.
over Shadow King.
That's just it. It almost if Shadow King was a 4 threat, how would he feel?
I'd feel better about that. I wouldn't hate him as much.
It just
I wonder if they would have to change something on his.
Make his builder 5 dice.
maybe.
Yeah, I think you would have to.
I was gonna say his
Yeah.
builder would be a little outsized there.
Yeah.
He just seems like way closer to a 4 than a 5 in terms
Agreed.
of value that you're getting on the board.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Okay, so pretty clear consensus: Shadow King 6, Iceman 5. Who's 4?
It's gotta be Bishop, right?
Ooh.
Ooh, I'm not. That was not gonna
I
be
think
my
it's
answer.
Bishop.
I knew we would start diverging after Shadow King Iceman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those did seem to be the low hanging fruit.
After playing them all tonight, that's such a.
I think it's gotta be Bishop, right?
So why do you think it's Bishop?
Bishop, I mean, the best thing on his card is his throw, which is
Right.
really good. It's a really good throw. But, characters like Bill exist, right? Like, it's like, how do you pick Bishop over Bill? You probably don't.
Agreed.
Unless you're playing, like, X-Force or
even X-Men.
Or
like-
X-Men,
Yeah,
where he's
although,
affiliated. But, like,
but
outside of that, I just don't know.
yeah, but Bill's like one of the top 3 or 4 models.
Yeah.
I mean, if
It's hard.
if we're comparing, not many is going to stand up to
to Bill, yeah. But his kit is just like so similar to Bill too. He's got the same throw. They got the same
Same speed.
the same speed.
Medium base, medium mover.
Yeah.
Throw,
They're
immune
incinerate. Yeah, like they got a lot of similar things going
I
on.
like his immune to stun though.
They
That's
don't
one
have
thing
they
he's
don't
got
have
over
action
Bill.
compression. Like
Yeah.
you got a lot of similar things going on. I mean, DR is better than his reverse pierce, but reverse pierce is still pretty good.
Right.
DR's way better.
It
DR
is way better, yes.
Reverse pierce is pretty good.
But man, I really like that reverse pierce. He's got the best reverse pierce in the game.
He does.
Yeah, I mean,
But there's only what 3 models with it. Reverse pierce.
I think there's
It's
4.
Magic, Strange, and Bishop now.
And New Danvers.
Oh, Danvers, yeah, Danvers, and old Danvers.
Yeah,
Old Danvers.
So there's 5.
There's 5.
do any of those others gain power for it?
Yeah, they
yeah,
all
they
gain
all
power.
do.
They all gain power. Yeah. Yeah, Strange is pretty dumb with it because
Yeah.
he's like, especially with books, he ends up with like 5, and you're like 5 wilds.
Don't
Reverse
attack
pierce.
Strange with physical attacks when they have books up.
Yeah, it's
Never a good idea.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, attacking Strange.
Travis learned that today.
Ignore that guy.
Yeah.
Attacking Strange just in general seems like a bad idea. All right, so
I think Bishop's a 4 as well, but barely.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Just
it's
barely.
Bishop. I think it's Bishop.
what do you think, JP?
Like his builder's fine. It's fine.
I like his builder.
Doesn't think-
His build,
doesn't think-
I think his spender's good.
It's so expensive.
It's expensive.
This
Wait.
might be a hot take, but you guys know I don't like her. I think it's Kitty.
You
I
think
do
it's
too.
Kitty?
Yeah.
I do too. I had Kitty at
So
4.
she's a long mover, which is good. She's got that defensive thing. I do like the place on it.
Mhm.
That seems pretty cool.
And she's got her own place.
It gives her some tricks, combat tricks she can do. If anyone's ever played against combo, they know about that range 1 bump after an attack. She can incinerate. She's got good attack. She's got a good attack suite. I don't know.
Does she have a good attack suite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ignoring your opponent's crits and the
true.
explosions is actually really good.
I mean, her spender is pretty dumb for a 3-threat.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she's not like an X-23 or Domino. Or anything.
No. I would agree.
Like,
but
I don't know.
I mean,
like
a 3-threat with eyes play, that's pretty
and
good,
I think
man.
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
In X-Men, she's got the eyes play.
Come on, man. Look at all the medium movers they have now. You don't need a long.
But it's a 3-threat. So I mean, that's nice when it comes to math, staying in affiliation. You get better. You could do more splashes.
Yeah. I'm not sold on that.
Yeah.
On the eyes play.
Maybe I'm just more straightforward, and I get it, it's a 4 versus a 3, but man, I'd rather have Bishop's Throw than anything on Kitty's card.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's bad, but like X-Men have a lot of 3-threats already.
Yeah, they do. It's in X-Men specifically situation. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, obviously they have a lot of 4-threats too, but
and
they just have like premium 3-threats though.
Yeah, they do.
It is nice for X-Men to get a long mover.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is,
it's
and
their
then they
only
nerf,
long mover.
then they nerf Storm's leadership, and then all the boners went down.
Yeah. Kitty probably would have been pretty freaking.
Oh, people were already mathing out all the
if they hadn't changed Storm's leadership.
round 1 shenanigans with Storm
I mean,
leadership.
she can still kind of do it.
Not like she could.
Not like she could. No.
She could do some
But
really stupid
still getting
stuff.
the hop off, getting the long
she-
move.
You could still back F with her before.
Yeah,
You could.
you could steal and walk away.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
and now you can't.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference.
This is a huge difference.
Do either of Kitty's cards make a difference?
No, they
No.
suck.
Oh, back it up. 1 sucks. 1 is okay.
What's the one that's okay?
The ones that's okay is the one that
Like
works with magic. Get them Lockheed or whatever the heck it's called.
Faithful
Oh.
Companion.
Faithful Companion. Yeah.
You'll have to
Unlimited
refresh my memory on
range.
that.
Unlimited range. No
It's
need
like
for
a
line of
counterattack,
sight.
right?
It's a free counter attack.
So you roll 4 dice,
5 dice.
It's
It's
five
a 5
dice.
dice attack.
and it's crit wild.
It's
No,
just wild.
It's just an
freeze
attack. And wild for an incinerate.
Oh,
And it's
I thought it was a
unlimited
counter. When he said Counter Strike, I was thinking like Zemo Counter Strike.
No.
No.
Like if you get attacked, is it attacked?
Yeah.
If an allied Shadowcat or magic is dealt damage by an enemy attack or superpower,
And then what happens?
then they get to play. They get to play the card.
And the
character
card costs 0.
0.
card
That's free.
costs 0.
Okay.
Immediately makes the attack shown above targeting the enemy character that dealt the damage. So it's range infinite,
Mm-hmm.
5
Ignore
strength,
line of sight, and cover.
and a wild incinerate. It ignores range and line of sight.
Oh,
You
range.
still
It
get-
doesn't know cover.
Range
Is
line
it
of
energy?
sight.
It's
Yes.
energy.
It's energy. How many dice? 5?
5 dice.
For a free attack?
I don't like it.
Out of activation?
I don't like it.
I'm not saying it's a card that you put in your 5
That's-
every time.
I'm
That's not what I'm saying.
wondering-
But you said it was a garbage card. I don't think it's a garbage
I mean, it's a
card.
free attack.
It's a free attack. It's
in
energy. Can give
certain
incinerate.
situations, I guess. Like you have to be attacked to use it.
No. You can get hit with a superpower too.
It's
What-
if it's
anytime
damage
they take damage.
any enemy attack or superpower.
Okay.
So throw could do it.
I just don't like it with X-Men because
some weird-
X-Men are already taxed so hard. Like they've got Xavier's Dream coming out.
Agreed. I'm not saying
Right.
that it's going to take us a 5 spot.
They run all the exceptional healers. They're running first class.
Right.
They're probably running Brace. Like you're running out of cards real quick. A card for a free 5 dice attack just does not seem, even though it's free, like it just doesn't seem good to me. In any situation, I don't know if I'd ever take that to 5.
I will accept the fact that it's not good, but I cannot accept the fact that it's garbage. It is not a garbage card. It's not garbage.
It's just weird on Kitty's kit, right? Like, because you're probably bringing her to want to like score. So like, why do you care about this extra attack that's incinerating?
Yeah, that's kind of where
Fair.
I'm at.
No,
That's
I
true.
get it. I get it. Again, I'm not saying you take it every time or in many circumstances.
I don't see
But-
it making a 10 on my 10, and if I was made an X-Men roster.
Fair. All right.
There's no way.
Well, how about Bishop's card?
Which card?
Mutant Trader?
What does that do?
Nope.
What?
Like, if I'm like, what does it
must be great.
It's a gambit. It's a gambit.
It's during Gambit's activation.
A gambit bishop circle jerk card.
Alright, so it's
what is this card called?
Mutant Trader. It's an energy attack, amplified ammunition, beam 3, 6 strength, power cost 0. On a wild, you get to push the target away short. On 2 wilds, you get to count all wilds twice, and then the character that played the card takes a damage. And then on a crit and a skull, during the modified dice step of each attack, this character may change all skull rolls in the attack to wild results.
Interesting.
My brain already
Terrible.
That's
Terrible.
not good at all.
and it costs doesn't
It
cost
is
anything.
free,
You have to be
It's an attack action.
but it is an attack action.
I'll tell you why it's bad. It's got gambit written on the card.
Yeah.
Although,
No,
hear me out.
no although.
Gambit has the change a hit to a wild thing.
Yeah, but
He can
Bishop's
use this.
using the attack.
It's
Oh,
it's
it
Lucas.
is.
Yeah, it's Bishop makes. the
Well,
attack.
then never mind.
Yeah.
It's not good. I mean, I guess the only thing that's decent on it is the push is unrestricted size.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is on a beam too, right? So you could push multiple models with this.
But you have to have.
you have to have Gambit. Yeah, that is the issue. You have to have Gambit, and he has to be within 3 of Bishop.
Is it 3? Okay.
It is. I mean, it's a free activation. So because it's during Gambit's activation, then Bishop makes the attack.
But Gambit
Oh,
has
it's-
to waste.
Yep,
Gambit has
it's
to
an
waste.
action.
oh, it's an action. It is
Gambit
an
has to
action.
waste an action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No. There's no attack card.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say no. There are some attack cards that are good, but they're
Most
few
of
and
the
far
attack cards that cost an action are not good because
Well-
most of the time you can do a spender that's better.
between. Most of them are, but there are a few. They're all
Helios.
they're old though.
I guess Helios is a good.
Well, shield the
Helicarrier strike.
no the ricochet
Ricochet's pretty good.
Oh.
ricochet blast,
Ricochet blast.
and bird of prey's good.
But that's adding dice though. That's not an attack.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Ricochet Blast is technically just adding dice too.
No, Ricochet Blast is an actual attack.
Yeah, it's a separate attack.
It's a,
yeah,
it's a
separate.
straight.
It's a 7
Oh,
dice-
you're
it's
right.
a 7
You're
dice
right.
attack.
You're right.
I guess I think a bird of prey is like a 7 dice reroll attack because
I mean, that's
you need
probably what
a
it's gonna
crap
end
load
up.
of power to do with the spender.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what it's gonna end up being. But
Okay.
I like. What is the card that only works for Nova and Jean?
Oh,
Mental
domination.
That's a good card. That's a pretty good attack card.
But I mean, that doesn't cost us action, so
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
completely different animal. You got to move on it too. Like, it's just different.
Yeah.
So Bishop and Shadowcat probably maybe tied for 4th and 3rd.
Yeah.
So
I
that
agree.
leaves 2 spots. Who do we think is second?
Xavier?
Xavier.
I had Bishop as second.
Wow.
You high on Xavier's leadership?
I had Xavier's third.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Just because, like, I'm not. I think he does some interesting things for X-Men. He opens up a whole nother archetype. I just don't know if the archetype's good yet.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of putting him like hopeful, but not like I'm not putting him at the top of the list because I don't even know if it's like Alex played him into me tonight. He seemed decent, but I don't know. I don't feel like Professor X had a ton of impact in that game as far as like his activations. It was more like the leadership was passing power around.
Yeah.
And it's very hard, especially after one game, to determine how good that was.
Yeah.
Like you were handing out a lot of power with it, but like there were times when you were just like spamming a superpower just to do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like some of the like superpowers you had used actually.
I did it to set up other models, to be perfectly honest. Like
Yeah.
that one time I body slid with with Cable. I didn't need to body slide.
That's what I'm saying.
But it gave the power to give Kitty
Right.
some defensive tech.
Right. But you spent like you what? Faithful assistanted with Cable to Kitty. It's like, it's fine. But, I mean, a lot of the times you were using it, it was actually, you were getting a reroll or you were doing this or that. But
when I was thinking about this, what I kept thinking is how much of Xavier's value comes from his leadership.
A lot. I think a lot of it is. The other thing too is like, I mean, I got to sit down and go in the jank tank and look and see what you can actually do with his leadership. Like, because I mean, is there a scenario where you can set up a character to have a ton of power on round 1, like 5? I mean, I think you could do it.
No.
Is it practical? Probably not.
You would need a ton of characters who could independently superpower round 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you
because
can't,
you're
you
always
have to roll it to the next guy, roll it to the next guy, to roll it to the next guy. Like, if you're talking like round 2, maybe, definitely like 3, you could start stacking power, but not round 1.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is there?
If you did, it'd be too expensive.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because you take Cable and you take Professor X, and then you like take some other guy who gained like 2 power a turn or 3 power a turn,
Gene,
who's expensive. Well, that doesn't have to be affiliated necessarily.
No, I just threw an example.
But yeah.
Well, the problem with Gene.
spending-
Oh no, Gene's throw is online on round 1 now, right? 'Cause she has 3 power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you could double move throws to range.
Sure.
But
who are you stacking power on then?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, Gene, Cable, and Professor X, and you got 14 threat right there. And
yeah, and it's like who do
who's
you
even
just
getting the
stack,
power at that
do
point?
you stack power, a bunch of power on Xavier for like rerolls? Like, what are we doing?
Is that
Which
good?
is fine. I think it's not great, but I think it's fine.
I just don't find it being practical trying to get something turn 1 with it.
No.
I don't see the need for it.
Well, no, there's definitely a lot of round 1 plays.
Yeah,
round
for
1
sure.
plays,
But
yes,
not
but
to stack.
stacking
Not to
5 power. No,
Maybe
worth
there's
it.
something to do with like 3 power or something.
So how about Xavier's card? What does that add?
Cerebro? Or
Mind
No,
Mind wipe.
Mind Wipe is really good. I think me personally,
I think it's really good too.
I think Mind Wipe's really good. Is it unaffiliated?
It's Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah, you have to be
So
X-Men
you
to
have
do it.
X-Men to do it. Okay.
So
All the cards coming with Xavier or X, excluding
The
Shadow
thing with
Kings.
Mind Wipe is you can end somebody's activation with it. And there's no range or line of sight restriction?
there's no range or line of sight restriction. Yeah, these are. I don't think there's anything else that has no range restrictions in the game before this. Or am I forgetting something?
lock or right now?
Yeah.
Doesn't the okay?
Oh, I mean,
was
other
gonna say,
than,
doesn't
these
the
two, other than these 2 new ones, we've got
Um,
2 of them that came in with.
As far as attacks or
Yeah.
Attacks,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think there's anything that's unlimited range like that.
no, I don't think there's an unlimited range attack in the game.
Mm-mm.
Helios feels like it.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
it's 5, so like.
Yeah.
But like, that Mind Wipe, the fact that it can activate you is just. Oh, it's good.
It's interesting too. The target of the attack can't be changed.
Yeah.
So-
so you
So
can't
bodyguard,
yeah,
no
you
taunts,
can't
no sacrifice.
It's good.
It is.
I think it's real good, actually. I've been thinking about like ways to counter that card. Like I mean, you need like stealth. Like
Yeah.
I guess Eye in the Sky, that helps, but
But the
It's
problem
so
with
freaking
stealth,
random though. I don't like this card. I don't like it.
you don't like
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it. It's base 3 dice.
Yep.
It gains dice equal to the damage that model took to daze. So if I go up and I punch them for 4 and don't daze them, and then I punch them for 1 and daze them,
this only becomes
your
4
card
less.
feels real freaking bad.
It
Yeah.
does, it does.
And if you do damage to me, you give me an activated token. I don't care because I already spent 2 actions dazing your dude.
yeah.
Like the window for this card is going to be really freaking awkward. A lot of times, it's going to feel bad.
It seems like this would be more like the bigger hitters would be more affected by this because you're more likely to have an attack that's going to do 4 damage or 5 damage or whatever, even on the first one. So it just seems like the more dice.
And you could also get punished for a random spike,
Right.
right? Like it's like, oh, I just need to do this builder. I spiked him.
Plus,
days.
Professor X needs 3 power.
He does need 3 power.
Yeah.
That is.
There's a lot of moving parts to this.
And
it's going to make the window feel weird to me.
he does want to have power for like rerolls, and
He's going to want to spend power for the rerolls.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know that this. I
think it's a good card.
I can't imagine going a game without having somebody on my team get clobbered for 5.
Yeah,
and then be able to drop this on their head. You're right. You might not know when it's going to come in, and it is weird if you have someone that takes 7 and then 1, and you get to add 1. But having said that, it's hard for me to picture that you're going to go an entire game without having an opportunity to at least do a free, fairly sizable attack without range, without line of sight. They can't change the target, and the activation thing is kind of a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you.
I don't mind combining this card with other things like
Cerebro
sacrifice.
You can't
combine it. Oh,
sacrifice onto somebody that you know was going to die.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the
use
target.
it to play
I was
that card.
Yeah, I don't like that though. Because usually you set up a sacrifice on a crappy target or someone who's like heavily damaged already. Like you're sacrificing into someone with a lot of health that you're hoping gets like depleted to days or KO.
I guess
so that you can do the mind wipe and use 2 Taxis cards and then you have to do damage with this. It's like I can't tell you how many times I've thrown a 6 or 7 dice attack and not done any damage. Like this has to do damage to give him the activated token.
It's got to do damage.
I don't know. I don't like it.
It is Mystic.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's
Mystic is like a high defense in this game at this point.
Yeah, but it
has
less
defensive tech.
Yeah, less tech for it, right?
I don't know, man. 6 or 7 dice, like they're gonna whiff.
Yeah,
it's 3 power, but it's also an out of activation attack.
But you're also an uncanny X-Men, right?
Yeah.
So
that is the other issue. There are still a lot of X-Men cards and a lot of good ones.
Yes, I think that's true.
It's gonna feel bad. It's gonna feel really good when it feels good. It's gonna be like
like if you end like a Hulk's activation like on his first attack.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like
it's gonna be
kind of like a mini Squirrel Girl card. Where like if it hits, like it's gonna feel real freaking bad for your opponent. But if it whiffs, it's gonna feel real freaking bad for you. Or if you just don't have the window.
Also, one thing like it also works with superpowers too. So if somebody, if a Hulk dumpsters a building on somebody, take 5 damage, and then just mind wipe, Hulk gets no actions.
So is this a card in some level, particularly if you're running against a Hulk or something, where you kind of play mind games where you're affecting how they're taking their actions because they don't want to have the big hit come first to risk having the activation, so you kind of mess with what your opponent's doing?
Yes, you could do that. I'll tell you one more reason I don't like this card, and then I'll let you guys talk.
Okay, go for
it. It's connected to Professor X.
Right.
That dude already has a big enough target on his head. He's weak defense. He's the leader.
Well,
so
and
he's got the leadership.
Professor
and he's got a
X,
tactics card attached to him.
Professor
Kill
X,
that man
he
right now.
He has to make the attack too, right?
Professor X.
Professor X.
So you dazed him,
Yeah,
and then daze somebody else. He doesn't get to use the card.
Correct.
Yeah.
Although
I don't
it
like
is, if the concept is you're keeping Professor X way back, I mean, he can be on the back corner of the board and still drop this thing.
I mean, you're going to play KG with him anyway,
right?
But
how KG can you play that, man?
That is true. That is true.
You're gonna have Honey Badger standing in front of him. He'll be fine.
How did it feel? How I was playing KG with him? It took a lot to take him out.
I'm trying to remember the play-by-play.
I feel like
It did take a while.
There's quite a few characters that can just bully him though.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like if they have enough power to reduce his defense,
right.
he just or you just throw crap at him.
Mm-hmm.
Like ironically, Magneto is like the perfect character into him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna have high mystic defense. He he's got every piece of terrain.
Yeah, Xavier's just gotta stay away from him.
Yeah. And he throws long.
Yeah.
So it's like...
So So let's ask again. Which of this group is the best model, and why is it Nightcrawler?
Yeah, I definitely like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I do
think
too.
Nightcrawler's very good.
I think he's really good.
I don't think he's as just playing the one the one game. I don't think he's as broken as people were freaking out about.
So, what did he feel like when you played him?
He felt like a fourth threat. He felt like a good fourth threat. He's a good option to kind of get the ball rolling with Xavier's leadership because you can bamf for 1 power, pass a power, and his stun capability's nice.
He can still interact.
It's auto.
It is auto.
He would still be able to interact. It's an auto stun as long as you're not within 2.
Right. But, I mean, if you have... he's got a freaking place on him.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
It is.
probably...
No doubt. It's pretty
there's
easy.
no way if you want to be outside 2, you don't get outside 2.
Agreed. No, I'm not denying that. It's just...
Auto stuns are ridiculous. There's
before
no other...
damage?
There's
It's
no
not
other...
before-
There's
It's
no
not before
other...
damage, right?
It's after. It's after damage.
There's no other builder in the game that auto stuns.
No.
There's
not
no
that I can
spenders.
see.
There's some spenders that auto stun.
Like, yeah.
So let's talk about what I think everybody saw was weird at the start. The brimstone blitz that can go on forever.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously limited to how much power...
It's limited to one target.
It's
It
limited
is
to one
limited to one
target, and it's
target.
limited to how much power. And
You got to get that trigger.
You got to get the trigger.
It's good. I'm not going to say it's not good, because it is good. And I don't care who did the math to say that there's a 42-point circle jerk % chance that you're going to KO a Hulk turn 1. I don't care about that. Let's be realistic about the numbers, the dice math, and are you really going to do it? Because I feel as though there's just other options out there, especially with how X-Men play. They're not like a super attrition-y. They're not super scory anymore, but they can play both fields pretty decently. I don't understand why people exploded about that attack.
I mean, you're gonna,
I think the one time that, Nightcrawler has like 3 power and he just goes, 7 dice, 8 dice. Like,
yeah,
It's
he
good.
just- he
It's
just
good. I'm
smacks
not
you
denying
for a
that.
bunch
It's
of dice.
just-
So there's going to be games where he just spikes his builder.
Yes.
And he gains like 3 or 4 power.
Yep.
And he's going to just be able to chain his spender as long as he can roll the crit. And that's going to feel real bad. And you don't need a Hulk on the board for it to feel bad. You can have any model on the board who's just going to get full to 0, like have their balls speed bagged by Nightcrawler. And then he has another action, like,
And if
for
he-
a 4th threat.
if he comes outside, if he comes in with a builder and stuns you first too,
Yeah.
like that's gonna feel real bad.
and if he's playing with anybody that's giving him rerolls, all of a sudden your shot of
Yes.
getting that extra attack just goes to the roof.
Yes.
Yeah, or adding dice, or I don't even know. I mean, I guess you could do some weird shenanigans in Midnight Suns where you double bump him.
Yeah, it's cute. Like,
It's not really.
it gives you an extra
great.
progressively, like 1 extra dice to each attack, but he's just gonna feel really, really bad when he pops off. And like,
I mean,
he's a 4th threat. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you're paying 2 power to have a 7 and at least a 50-50 shot of an 8 dice attack coming into you.
Yeah,
That seems like a lot.
it's pretty good.
Like,
Then you could have a 9, and then
Yeah.
it really gets silly.
one,
Well, and it's
one power
snowball.
for a spender.
it's snowballs,
Right.
Snowballs.
Yeah, I mean, it increases your chances of rolling the wild or the crit increase each subsequent attack.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
yeah, the snowball effect on it. I don't know. I feel like a Nightcrawler who gets like an early power advantage through like the builder is just gonna be a freaking nightmare. But hopefully he's not. Hopefully
Yeah,
he's more balanced than I
is-
think he's gonna be.
Just right now, after playing 1 game with him, I don't think he's as bad as people thought. Yes, you can skew the math. Yes, the math, it all makes sense. In my brain, it makes sense. Yes, I get it. But playing it, now, granted, this was against David where, he'll get 6 successes on 2 defense dice. But, there's only so much I can do about that.
His Well, I mean, the rest of his kit is still good too, right? Like, I mean, he's got the place, he's got the,
Yeah, his kid isn't lacking.
No.
yeah, he's got the stealth if he's within one of a
Terrain feature
Yeah.
that's ties to, and his defense tech.
Yeah,
His extra dice is nice too.
And we haven't talked about his card.
His
Mass transit?
Mass transit.
I don't hate it. It's neat.
I mean, there is the mass transit play on round 1.
Yeah,
like
With
Wong.
Wakanda? Oh. With Wong?
You could do it with Wong. Yeah, and Xavier's leadership.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Where you
sure.
like pass him you pass him 2
Fifth
power.
assistant of power, then Professor X the power over.
Yep.
Yep. And then he bamfs and takes half their team like forward. And then he gets staggered, but then you just
You bamf?
or not
Or
bamf,
It's
mass
teleport,
transit, yeah. So you mass transit, he gets staggered, Wong removes the stagger later, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because he's placing within 3, and then you place within 1 of him.
Yeah,
So that's-
you could get some, and
that's a hike.
there's no size restriction. There's no Habib.
Teleport that sentinel.
I mean, yeah, you could drop. I mean, you could drop a Hulk and a Juggernaut theoretically, but I don't know if you want to do that. That's
Could you?
probably.
I don't think you can.
You don't
Why?
think so?
They
Because
just-
you need Wong, Professor X, Nightcrawler, Hulk, and Juggernaut.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Yes.
an unaffiliated card.
Yeah, I mean, you technically, if you could figure out a way, he just needs to get 2 power, right?
2 extra power. You mean.
2 extra power. Yeah, it's 3 total, right? Yeah.
So I guess you could R&D
Yeah.
and Wong, but I mean, if you're playing unaffiliated mass transit, I don't know. Man.
No, I don't think that's the way
The
you play
jank
it.
tank is huge.
I mean, I don't know where you go with doing that. Like, what does it get you?
Yeah, I think some people are going to figure out some lists, and whether they're good or not is another thing. But
I think it's neat for like a situation where you get hit with researcher.
Yeah, I mean, you could like port.
yeah, you
ton
can
of
put a
people.
lot of pressure mid. That's
You
true.
could
Yeah.
port- and you can like.
Because what are they going to do?
Right. You got 4 dudes sitting on the objective.
4 guys who haven't activated, they have to move up to do anything. Like, yeah, they could move up and pot shot you for 1 attack, but then you get double attack, assuming you have the same range. Like, that just seems like a win. Plus, they still have to get onto the researcher somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it being good on researcher.
Of any of these characters, it feels like Nightcrawler's the one that has the the biggest chance to be broken.
Yeah,
Agreed.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially with that like the mass transit. I don't know how I feel about it, but there's gonna be some lists.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you can do some cool stuff with Mass Transit.
Professor X, Inhumans, or Wakanda are like. I mean, if you can get freaking Black Bolt to mid,
Yeah. That's pretty disturbing.
he just sits there and
Then turrets.
rifles people down.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So Nightcrawler is also the most splashable of these characters.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah.
I don't think there's an argument.
I don't think that. No, definitely not. I mean, obviously, I think Xavier could be pretty good in that competition, but
See, there we go.
it's complication.
It's going to come up at least once a month.
He
I
does
guarantee
have-
it, people.
He does have 6 Mystic defense.
He does have
And
6,
drink.
and he's mystic attacks, and he's medium base, so the bump is good. Like, he's got a lot going on for him, I think. And he roots people, which, like,
Yeah, we haven't
Combo.
seen Root on attacks.
yeah, and
It's
it's
been a
starting to.
while.
It's starting to.
I don't think we have any.
Groot.
Groot.
Doesn't he Groot?
But
Root
it's-
No,
No,
that's
it's a
superpower.
it's a super.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It costs 2. It roots someone within 3.
Does Nova not root with one
No.
of her attacks?
No,
This
she's
time?
superpower.
She has a
Superpower
superpower
too?
that slows and it's Pyro's thing for 3 power.
And
Okay.
it's but he can do multiple.
It's the same thing.
It's not once per turn, I don't think.
Mm,
Once per character per turn. I don't think it is.
Really?
But again, it's 3 power.
it's Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
That chick just
Yeah, she
she
wants.
cries herself to sleep at night thinking of extra power.
yeah, it is. Definitely.
God.
But I thought that was the one advantage to it. is that you could do it multiple.
She's like malnourished from not having enough power. Like her hair's falling out from not having enough power.
Yeah, it just says choose an enemy character within 3. They gain written slow.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. So she can spam biokinesis if she has a shitload of power,
But
which is never gonna happen.
yeah, well, and
I would rather have it be 2 power limited to once per turn.
yeah, well, and you're never. I mean, she's gonna want to spend her power to do her amazing one cost. Fucking
Well, that and she has healing factor, so you're probably running exceptional with her. Right?
Yeah.
Either that or the what were we talking about? The mind, the
Mental
Mental
domination.
Yeah.
that costs power, doesn't give her power back. So I don't know. She's like freaking
Starved.
She's like that dog, like looking at all the squirrels, like can't make up it's her mind which one to chase.
Yeah.
So I know that once we've gotten into extended conversation about Cassandra Nova, we've officially gone off the rails.
Yeah.
So let's, with regards to the 6, is there anything else that we kind of think any meat left on the bone that we want to talk about with the new mutants that have?
I mean, we obviously Xavier's Dream is good. I mean,
Xavier's Dream is freaking great.
it's real good.
So good.
Tell me why it's good.
Well, it's
exceptional healing on.
well, it's not exceptional healing, but you can suck power from non-X-Men.
Yeah.
So it's kind of continuing a theme that we're seeing a little bit with some of these newer cards where the Tactics card isn't restricted to affiliated models. And it's a deterministic card. So you know when you play that card that it's going to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can fine tune it to do exactly what you want in a vacuum, I guess. If you have X amount of people, and they all have power and blah blah blah. But you can. It's not one of those like I love Recalibration Matrix and it's very impactful. But sometimes you throw a Recalibration Matrix and it does absolutely nothing, and you're down a Tactics card.
Yeah.
This is not one of those cards.
Well, the other thing too is you can use it to like fine tune how much damage a character takes.
That's what. Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
So like you could be like, oh, I need to take 3 damage.
And X-Men tend to run at least one healing factor character on the table. So it gives your healing factor character another layer of defense
Yep.
to weather a storm and come back, activate, and heal 2. That heal 2 is huge.
Well, and the other thing too is you can also use it to like do a set amount of damage, but you can also count that to gain power.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes,
so you can be like,
sure.
oh, I need to have 2 power.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take 2 damage. And since the character that's taking the damage is not spending power, I mean, you know they're gonna gain exactly how much power you want them to gain, right?
Yes. I mean, it's gonna be a staple in X-Men. I don't know. We'll have to see how X-Men fare after this new influx of characters. I don't know how much this is really going to impact the power of X-Men lists. We'll have to see how janky we can get with these Professor X lists. Maybe they're just going to be crazy. I don't know.
I mean, I still think there's stuff. I mean, there's jank there. Definitely.
It's definitely like a janker's dream, right?
Yeah.
Anything else we want to
If you
talk
can
about?
Rube Goldberg it up, man, we can get something going.
Patrick's just rubbing his face.
Hey, look, we're not talking about Cassandra Nova anymore. I'm thrilled.
Like the model that nobody knows anything about.
Oh.
Hey, she's gonna be in.
She's in
Deadpool.
She's in Deadpool. Yeah. Still not gonna like
I
her.
forgot who's playing her, but
Yeah.
I saw who it was. They credited her.
They should just shave Kate Blanchett's head and put her in that movie too.
I'd be okay with that. All right. So, webheads, stay in touch with us. We want to hear what you think. Did we get our ranks right? How many of you love Shadow King? How many of you are going to be splashing Shadow King? Let us know. All the socials, Witty Bantercast, Facebook, Twitter.com, Instagram, wittybantercast@gmail.com. We would like you, if you would please, to rate and review us on your podcast of choice. anytime we get rated, anytime we get reviewed, that helps our algorithms. It helps more people find us. And don't forget to sign up on the Patreon, patreon.com/wittybantercast. You have an opportunity to win a Shadow King model. How lucky are you?
He's kind of like the side thing.
Yeah,
I guess I got Xavier.
The bonus model you get with Professor Xavier. All right, so until next time, webheads, be good.